Hey you guys, I've been wanting to do a video like this for a while. I'm a little nervous about it because I think you guys are gonna think I'm hugely nerdy, super nerdy, but the fact is I love systems. I love finding little ways to save time. I feel like God has just wired me in that way to notice little inefficiencies and just have fun looking for ways to make things more efficient. So in this video, I'm gonna take you around my house and just show you like a dozen things that honestly, even just in the last couple weeks, I've come up with things that I've noticed kind of bug me or could be a little more efficient. And part of what has really motivated me in this whole journey is Paul Akers' book, 2 Second Lean. I read it years ago for the first time. I've reread it since then. He talks about lean manufacturing in the book, which obviously doesn't apply to me, but he also talks about how to apply that to your business and your personal life. And something that he says over and over is to fix what bugs you. So I've tried to put that into practice. And if you enjoy this video as I'm sharing this stuff, let me know. I will make more. I'm happy to share more things because I'm always coming up with more stuff, but I need to know that it's worth it for me and for you, that you want to see this kind of stuff. So click that thumbs up button if you're watching this and you're like, yeah, I'm digging this. I like this. Okay, so let's jump in here. All right, so first thing, this is my office up here. And in this little closet here, I have a charger set up because there's a number of things that I need to charge with this type of charger. Not my phone, but things like my little light here, as well as like my son's camera and my Upright Go posture corrector trainer thing and my Kindle and stuff like that. So I wanted an easy place to charge that stuff and for that stuff to sit while I was charging. So I remembered that I had an electrician put an outlet back here in this little attic, because this is like the upstairs of our house, as you can see. So we have these little attics. We had an electrician come and put an outlet so that I could plug in my printer here, and it's wireless and it's right next to my desk, which works out really nicely. And it sits on top of this Alex IKEA unit, which just fits like perfectly right there. So I realized I still have an outlet that I'm not using. So I plugged that, weaseled my way back there and plugged this charger in there. But then I didn't want it to be falling down. So I used one of these little cord holders and just stuck it to the side of this Alex unit so that when I'm not using this charger, right now I am obviously, but when I'm not, it can just kind of slide down and it just sits there, but it's very easy for me to pull up and use it. So as I go through each of these things, I'll try to share with you ideas for how you can apply them yourself, because obviously that's my goal here. So if there's something, I will share a link to these. They come in different sizes below this video, and pretty much anything that I mention in this video, I will try to share a link with you, whether it's like a quiet time devotion book that I mentioned, or my egg cooker that I'll show you in a second, different things. I'll try to provide links so that if you want to learn more about them or you want to buy them or whatever, you can do that. But again, I'll try to give you like a little application point for each of the dozen or so things that I'm going to show you. So my application for you for this first one would be, are there cords in your life that you could better corral? Cords or just anything, chargers, whatever, that you could use something like this, or even just like a piece of tape so that it doesn't fall down if there's something like that that's kind of annoying. Okay, let's go and see. Speaking of chargers, let's go in my bathroom. And so I've kind of decided that like the best place to keep chargers and charge most things in my house is in my bathroom. So, but I don't want those chargers to be difficult to grab, and so I keep them in separate places where I can easily grab them. So I use my phone charger the most, so I keep that up here. I don't have to, I can just throw it up here. I don't have to like wrap it up and roll it up or anything like that, and I can easily pull it out. And there's washcloths underneath here that I don't have to access very often. So the charger sitting here is not like getting in the way. And then I charge my breast pump in the bathroom as well, which feels a little bit weird to me, but because of the outlets that we have upstairs in this house, this really heavy, oh, here's my breast pump charger. This really heavy thing just falls out of the outlet, but for some reason it doesn't in the bathroom. So I keep that one in there, and then I keep my toothbrush charger in here. So all of those are really easy to get to, and I don't keep anything in front of these drawers, so I can pull them open easily, and I can just charge the stuff here as needed and then toss it back in there. So my application for you for this would be, is there something, sorry, I know this video is like not high quality. I'm not a professional YouTuber, but anyway, can you come up with specific places that you're gonna charge things all the time? Like I always charge my phone in this place. I always charge, you know, whatever, my breast pump, whatever it may be, in this place, and then keep the chargers in a specific place as well. And if possible, keep your chargers separate so that they're not gonna get tangled up, but you also don't have to like roll them up. And all these chargers are just chargers that came with these items when I bought them, but if I ever have to buy another phone charger, for example, if I lose it or something, I will definitely get one. I'll spend a little more money on one that has like the retractable cord where you can just pull it and it like rolls up, because obviously that would save a little time. As long as we're in my bathroom, a couple other things. So I have this headband that I use a few times a week, and I used to keep it right here. Well, that's also where because I was like, oh, well, it's a hair thing, and this is where all my hair stuff is, like all my hair ties are here. But I use my hair ties multiple times a day, and so every time I wanted a hair tie, I had to pick this up to get the hair ties underneath. So I decided that I could just toss this up here. It's very easy for me to still reach it, thankfully, because I'm tall. But now I can get my hair ties more easily. Another thing is that this is all my jewelry. I'm a minimalist. And I used to keep all of my earrings in here, because again, I was thinking like, oh, have all your earrings in one place, right? But every time I wanted to wear studs, I was like rifling through to try to get to the bottom to find my studs and like match the right ones. So what I did first of all was I decided to narrow my studs down to just my favorite ones, just these. I got rid of the other couple pairs. And then I decided to keep them here on this little ring dish instead of mixed in here. Shout out to my coaching client, Tessa, for this cute little ring dish. And then I also I took one pair of earrings out of here that were dangly, that were from our wedding, that I was like, I haven't worn these in years now. I still want to keep them, but they make more sense to keep them in my sentimental box than it does to keep them here with earrings that I wear all the time. So my application for you with that would be, are there things that you are keeping in a place with something because it seems like, oh, that's a like item, I should keep it with that, but it's getting in the way, and something that you don't use as often is getting in the way of things that you do use more often? Or very specific application, like how can you make it faster and easier for you to put your jewelry on each day? And that might mean kind of separating it out, kind of like I did, or obviously decluttering and just having less is helpful too, or just making sure that you can easily get at the stuff that you're gonna wear, especially the things that you wear all the time. Okay. So another couple efficiencies, just little things lately that maybe seem silly to you, but to me are like exciting and I get excited about them. So every night, like especially when it's warmer out, I like to plug a fan in at this outlet over here by my bed. And I used to keep that fan all the way over here in this closet because, I don't know, there was just a lot of space in there, and I think that was just where my husband put it, and so every day I would drag it, you know, every night I would bring it from the closet all the way over here, and then in the morning I'd put it back because I don't like stuff sitting out if possible. So I realized, it makes way more sense to put it in this closet, which is a mess, but there's space for it, so it's a lot closer now. So are there things like that in your house where you're keeping something in a spot that maybe it's just kind of where you've always kept it, but that spot is not actually very close to where you use it? A similar example is my breast pump. So I used to always pump downstairs, but ever since I went back to work, so like 6 months ago, I usually pump upstairs here, like at my desk or over on that couch in the corner. So I used to keep my pump downstairs in the kitchen buy my pump parts. That didn't really make sense. So now I keep it up here in this closet, and I keep my pumping bras here. And in the morning when I'm making like my coffee or tea or whatever down in the kitchen, while my tea kettle is boiling, I'll just put together my pump parts and bring them up and set them on this tray. So all this stuff is in an easy location, but then I also have it on a tray so that I can easily just pull it out, set it on my desk, or carry it over to my couch and use it. So application for you would be, are there things that you can put on a tray so that you can grab them easily and have it all together, like your quiet time materials, for example? Yes, good. Let's go downstairs. Okay, so in my living room, you'll see I have some fake candles, which is better than nothing because beeswax candles are expensive and I have little kids, so I can only have so many candles sitting out. But I use these candles like several times a week. And I don't know if you can even read on here, but it shows, no, you can't because it's like so hard to read. This switch, you can switch it on two ways. One way turns it on indefinitely, and the other turns it on just for like a limited amount of time. It's a timer, and then it turns off sometimes before you want it to be off. So I took a Sharpie and put a dot on the side that I want to turn it on, because especially at night when I'm turning them on, I'm like squinting, trying to like read the tiny print and be like, oh, which way do I turn it on? So this is something you can apply this. I mean, maybe you have fake candles, but probably you don't. That's a very specific thing. But this is something that I do even with like things that I need to plug in. Like I've done this, I'll take like a Sharpie mark and put it on the bottom of like the little USB drive that goes into my laptop for my wireless mouse. Because otherwise I'm always looking like, wait, which side is up on this USB thing? Or a charger or whatever, you can put like a little dot on the bottom of it so that you know, okay, that's the side that goes down when you plug it in. Just saves you like a second from having to like look at it, especially if it's darker or whatever it may be. Okay, let's go into my kitchen. So I like to use pumps for like soap and shampoo and lotion whenever possible. I just think it's more efficient. And I like Watkins dish soap, but their dish soap does not come with this top. It comes with a top that just, you have to like flip it open, and then obviously you have to like turn it over and squirt it out like most dish soaps. So I purchased a Watkins hand soap that's the same size, same top, and comes with a pump. Used that up, and then I took the pump and put it in here. And now whenever I buy a new dish soap, I can just take off the top that comes with it, recycle that, and put this pump in instead. So application for you, think about ways that you can maybe use pumps more for like lotion, dish soap, shampoo, conditioner, etc. And if you can just buy stuff that already comes with a pump in it, that's ideal. But obviously you can also do something like this, or you can even decant something too. I don't know if that always necessarily would save you time if you're like decanting it, but it could, and it definitely looks nicer if you're decanting it into like a pretty jar. I'll share a link below to some pretty like amber bottles that I use in my shower for shampoo and conditioner. Okay, another thing that has bugged me is, so this is at my egg cooker down here that I love. We use it like multiple times a week to make hard-boiled eggs. And for some reason, every time I would take this thing out, I would pull it out, and then I would close this back up with the child lock, and then I'd realize, oh, I forgot the little cup, this little cup thing that goes with that, like you have to measure out the water and stuff. And so I decided now that I'm just going to, whenever I put this away, I just put the cup right in there so I can pull it all out and it's all together. So for you, application, is there something that you can store inside of something else or with something else so that you don't forget it, whether it's like sporting gear for your kids, like practices or whatever it may be. If you can store things that go together so that you don't leave them behind, or you can just like pull them out more easily, put them away more easily, etc. Okay, let's go to the bathroom. Again, we're just fixing little things here that bug us. So we used to have 2 towels that hung up here, one for the baby, one for my son. And every time that I went to close this closet, I would have to push the towel that was hanging here. I would have to like push it in because otherwise it would get stuck and the door wouldn't close. Well, I realized that my sons don't bathe at the same time because one is still a baby. So they bathe separately, and they can, when they're clean and freshly bathed, they can share a towel, right? They never need to use it at the same time. So we can use a towel a few times, hang it back up to dry, and after a few uses, wash it. So now I just keep the one towel in here, and that works great. So application for you, I think a lot of us have towels that we're keeping that like are getting in the way of things. So where if you have towels, whether it's in your bathroom or your kitchen or whatever, that just you always feel like you're moving them or they're just kind of a pain in the butt, how can you come up with a creative solution? And actually upstairs in our bathroom upstairs, I really don't have a good place to hide towels, and I like to have them out of sight. So I just got some of the kind of pretty, like fancy metal looking command hooks, and I put a couple of those up inside the shower, like where it doesn't get hit by the water, opposite of the shower head, like the opposite end. And then I can hang a towel up there and a robe, and that works great. It's out of the way. All right, so now we're in my son's room, the baby's room, and when I nurse him in the morning, I do my vitamins, I take my drops, and I do my quiet time. And I used to keep all that stuff in this wicker basket here, but then I would have to reach down and grab it all and pull like every individual item up and set it on this table. So I was doing some decluttering elsewhere, and I emptied out this little basket. So I decided to just put his books in this basket down here instead, because when they're close by, we are way more likely to read them. And then I put my vitamins and my drops and my quiet time stuff in this basket here, because this basket, I can pull the whole thing up and set it on this table, and I can reach all this stuff really easily while I'm sitting in this chair. And then as a bonus, I can actually use this basket. This is the amazing book that I'm going through for the second time, like focusing on different attributes of God. And so she has verses that you look up, and I look them up in this like little kid Bible that I have because I can hold it easily with one hand while I'm nursing. Well, it's not a little kid Bible. It's a legitimate Bible, but it has like devotions for like teen girls in it. Anyway, so I can actually use this basket to hold the book open to whatever page I'm on as I'm reading, as I'm looking at those verses while I'm one-handed and nursing. So application, just are there creative ways that you can like kind of have fun solving a problem, solving something that's kind of bugging you, something that's out of reach, and maybe even solve like multiple pain points at one time. Okay, last thing is in my other son's closet. So he's 4 now, and he can get himself dressed and undressed, and so I used to keep like pretty much all his clothes in this one drawer here, and I would have them all super nicely folded. He can't fold that stuff, so we've just lowered the bar. I feel so good about it. Dawn from The Minimal Mom, she swears that you do not even have to fold your kids' clothes at all, that they will not get wrinkly. My husband does still fold his clothes when he does laundry, but once they're in his drawer, like when Harry puts them back, we don't care if he folds them. So we just have his undies and pants and bottoms in the top drawer. All of his tops just go in this drawer. They're not like pretty, but he knows like, okay, I need to pick one thing out of this drawer, and I need to pick one bottom out of here and pick undies. And then in his bottom drawer, we just throw his 2 pairs of pajamas and his pull-ups. So application for you, can you store your kids' stuff or even your own stuff where you just have like one thing per drawer, and it just makes it really easy. You don't have to overly organize stuff. You can just kind of throw it in. And are there things that you're folding that you don't really need to be folding? Sometimes I know it feels really good and just makes your brain feel better to have stuff folded. But if you think there are areas, maybe it's just like with your pajamas or whatever, different things, or your kids' stuff, if it's not gonna bother you and you can just let it go and you know, have it not be folded and it's not gonna be super wrinkly, that might be a good option. So that's all for today's video. Again, if you were like, oh, this was interesting, I like this stuff, I wanna see more of this, give this video a like, comment, and tell me what idea you liked the best or any ideas that this sparked for you. And please come join our email list. We would love to have you so we can send you more good content like this and just on intentional, simple living and goal setting as a believer and all that good stuff. So I actually have a workbook for you. It's like a workbook and a guide that's going to help you kind of change the way that you view your time and kind of buy you back more time, help you feel less stressed about time. So if you're interested in that, click the link that says dianakerr.com/workbook. And thanks so much for being here. Make sure you've subscribed if you haven't already, and I will see you next week.